Alrighty, what is quacking everybody? Persona 4 Remake is basically somewhat confirmed. This popped up a couple days ago. And last time something like this happened was for the Persona 3 Remake. Someone stated that when this came about, 3 months later, we got the Persona 3 Remake. So this is pointing in the direction of a Persona 4 remake, and I am very happy and pleased to play Persona 4 in its grown up state. If it does come out, if it is true and all that stuff, who knows who this could be? This could just be them, like, oh, hey, whatever, we're just gonna get it out of the way, but like, Persona 4 is on its way. Its remake is on its way. Like, it was inevitable that it was going to come in the first place. And I'm excited because currently, right now, we have the Persona 3 Reload remake and Persona 5. And both of those games are fantastic. I cannot tell you how crusty it felt to go from Persona 3 Reload to Persona 4 Golden. And it's just like, wow, man, this is great. Not saying that Persona 4 Golden doesn't hold up. It's still a fantastic game and a great playthrough, but all of the quality of life changes aren't there. The updates and everything just aren't there. It's just a really solid story with, some old gameplay basically. But now we're going to get it in an updated state, hopefully some, more tidbits, some more extras, and more things in the game. And I'm absolutely jazzercised about this Persona 4 remake. It's not the best game in this franchise, but it is amazing. Now, some people are like, oh man, there's some other Persona games that deserve a remake over Persona 4, specifically 1 and 2. And while, it would be nice to play those two games, those games are, from my understanding, I have not played them. I've only played one a little bit, but from my understanding, those games are vastly different. From my understanding, I don't think they have social links in them, and they're just vastly different games. They're just more focused on the main story, and that's fine. Just go play their PSP remakes. Just go play on the PSP. Get figure out how to do that. Get yourself a PSP in the game. I don't know what to tell you, but it was 4 has such more star power than 1 and 2. When you hear people talk about Persona, they're always like, oh my god, Persona 3, Persona 4, Persona 5. I never hear anybody go, oh man, Persona 2, Persona 1, especially Persona 1. I don't hear people go, oh man, Persona 1, that game hit so hard. All you Persona fans don't even know. I've never heard that in my life or reading it on any online discourse. So I can understand why 4 is getting an absolute just overhaul and remake over the other two, because it has the social links, it has the more modern feel to the Persona game, so people are going to be more receptive to it, and it's going to be easier for them to get money out of it. And like I said, the game has way more star power, because before Persona 5, Persona 4 was basically, like the star child, like Persona 5. We got ourselves the rhythm game. We got 2 Persona Q games, and then, like I said, we also got Persona 4 Golden. We got the spin-offs. Like, Persona 4 was like it. Like, that thing was like, big. That was the thing. That was the Persona. It was cool and all that stuff. And then, Persona 5 came out and just kind of like sucked that away from Persona 4. But Persona 4 was like Persona 5, but before Persona 5 came out. Like, it is just absolutely just big, and it was great. We have the manga, light novels, anime, like all that good stuff that came with Persona 4. And then on top of that, with all of the amazingness that is Persona 4, it's just easier to remake because all the assets are made. If you look at it from that perspective, they have all of the personas already rendered in the Unreal Engine 4, so they have all the personas, so they don't have to remake the personas from the ground up. They have a lot of assets that they reused, especially if you look at Persona 5 to Persona 3, they even reused a lot of animations as well. The funny thing about the reused animations is, after playing Persona 5 and Persona 3, you see that they made Makoto do similar animations to Joker, but like when Joker like plays with his hair, they gave that to Makoto, but because his hair is like more flatter, not as fluffy as Joker's, his hands just like kind of like floating there. I guess, like, I understand the intention, but yeah, so they're gonna probably reuse all the animations. They even reuse, like, Futaba's animations, some of her Sid animations as well. All those different animations are going to be reused. All the personas are going to be reused, like I said. Even basic assets like bikes, background characters, and they already put the uniforms in the game as well. They're as DLC, so it's not going to be hard for them to just copy and paste that onto the characters and the extra NPCs that just walk around as well. So that's just going to be easy reuse assets. The only thing they probably really have to remake from the ground up is the town and the the TV, the different channels and the TV and stuff like that. But otherwise, like, it's really not that hard for them because they obviously adjusted models as well. The Justice social link, she was obviously, repurposed and used from Futaba as well. I guess was probably reused from, like, Ryuji, like the same blonde hair and everything. Like, the characters are easily, moved around. They have a very good system on reusing and repurposing their models and getting it, all figured out. So very easy. I knew it would probably only take them like 2 to 3 years to honestly remake Persona 4. It definitely was not going to take them an ample amount of time. It was going to probably be very easy to just, change up the code a little bit, do all these different things that would not take that long. So yeah, it was just an easy, here's my money. And all 3 Persona games are going to be remade, or well, not 3, 2 of them are going to be remade. Then we have obviously Persona 5. So they're all going to be in a really good, playable, modern state. And then we'll probably get Persona 6. And honestly, like, if I was Atlas, I'd be scared to make Persona 6 as well. That's another thing. A lot of people are like, we want Persona 6. I'd be scared to make Persona 6. Because not only do you have to top Persona 5 Royals, which was a fantastic story still, you also remade your best story, arguably your best story. Some people say 2 is better than 3. I haven't played 2. I haven't played Persona Innocent Sins. I have not played that. I will say Persona 3 just, it ekes it out over Persona 5 and a lot of things. Video coming soon on that. But yeah, you have really good Persona 5, and you just absolutely just remade arguably your best game in the franchise with, modern controls and everything. So that is an absolutely daunting task if you're just like, oh, we have 2 amazing stories to top. And then on top of that, like, the game gonna have to make new things as well. Who knows? They could be using Unreal Engine 5. Who knows what they're doing if they're trying to upgrade the engine or anything. So they have to they have to make a bunch of new things unless they choose to, keep using Unreal Engine 4. Then the Personas are fine. They might make some new Personas or whatever. But they gotta, craft a whole new story, and probably writing a whole new story that's compelling and all these different things that can top your previous 2 hard-hitting stories. That's a tall task. And if you tell me I have to spend 5 to 6 years to really make an out of this world game, or I make a game that already people love and it's going to take me 2 to 3 years and I'm going to make a fat stack of cash off that, I'm going to take 2 to 3 years all the way. Like, once they do all that, the fans will be happy for a while. We're eating good. Persona's eating good right now because we're going to have 3 amazing games and just being able to just chomp that up, munch that up. And then on top of that, if you really like Persona, I've heard Metaphor is the same. I haven't played Metaphor. Heard Metaphor is very similar. It's like Persona, but slightly different in its own, like, theme or whatever. So there's that. So all those different things. That's why Persona 4 Remake is happening. That's probably why it's happening, is because 6 is probably going to take a while to make, easier to make 4, and 4 just has more star power and is hard hitting than the previous, Persona 1 and 2. Like I said, who played Persona 1 on the PS1? Who's playing Persona 2? Who even had a PSP to play them? I know a lot of people had PSPs, but only hardcore Persona fans. I would like to go back and replay them. I have them for the PSP. I will be replaying them at some point. But as it stands right now, I think Persona 4 is, the perfect time to remake it right now. But with that all being said, I'm super jazzercised for the Persona 4 remake. Ever since I beat it and I did my review and everything, like, going into Persona 4 after beating Persona 3 Reload, like, it was weird. It was just like, I missed her. I missed Persona 3. But then after, like, I really got into Persona 4, I missed Persona 4. Like, it was just a nice, really chill time. I really enjoyed it. It's not as hard hitting as 3 or 5, but it's really nice. It still has a lot in it that makes me really want to replay it again. And since I know we're getting a remake, I'm just going to hold off on my New Game Plus run on Golden. So yeah, with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.